this thing blows, if she doesn't Mount St. Helens, the blast will get here within a minute.
Well, I hope you're wrong about our volcano, Harry. But if not, I'm glad you're here.
Are you offended that she essentially wants somebody to die with if this thing blows? Like, you know, are you offended?
No, I mean, ever since her husband left, man, she's been looking for somebody to die with, so.
I'm kind of offended, you know? She wants him to die with her. If this thing goes.
Yeah, he seems to be in for the ride, man, so I don't know. Like, can't really fault him.
It's that Linda Hamilton, you know? She's just a nice mayor, so.
just a nice mayor.
Nice mayor, you know, not a post-apocalyptic mother of the savior of humanity. Welcome back. This is episode 83 of the Last Row podcast.
83.
Oh, man. I don't even think I need to read all of our stuff anymore, right? You know where to find us, lastrowpodcast.com. Just go there. And then subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review if you enjoy the show. Thanks. Welcome back, Badway.
You've grown. You've grown.
Have
You're
I?
just letting the people know that
you can find us.
They know where to find us.
You can find us. If you want to do something, leave a review. It definitely helps out the show. Thank you.
Everyone who's found us has found us already. Too,
yeah, that's a deep cut, my friend.
Yeah. So what we're doing today, Drew, we're doing Dante's Peak. It's a disaster of a podcast. He's doing a disaster / action / adventure movie, Dante's Peak from 1997. Directed by my good friend Roger Donaldson. Drew, what do you know about Roger Donaldson?
Not much. You have to school me.
I'll tell you that he, I don't know, not very of note. But I will say his writer, Leslie Boehm.
I did see something about her. Or him.
I don't, who the hell knows?
Maybe it's a him too. I don't know. Leslie.
They wrote Daylight right before this.
Yes, I did see that.
Similar type thing, but you know what they did after that?
Nothing.
Nothing for 5 years. Literally 5 years after Dante's Peak.
What else then? Anything else after that?
TV miniseries Taken.
All right, yeah, that's not gonna cut it.
And not even like the Liam Neeson Taken. Just like, just some random bullshit.
Might as well be talking Tooken.
And then they wrote a couple of garbage movies, and then they're out of the biz. So yeah, one could say that this movie tanked their career. I'm not saying it, but one could say. I like this movie.
A pyroclastic cloud on their career.
You keep saying that. I don't think you know what it means.
Yeah.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
I had earth science.
IMDb 6 out of 10.
Too low.
That's about right. Rotten Tomato 26%.
Way too low.
Too low. Metacritic 43%.
Way too low.
That's about right.
Too low. This is a great movie, and I'm just going to come out and
great.
say it.
Wow, you went great.
It's a great movie, and I love it.
A volcanologist? Did I do that? Yeah, I did it.
I guess so.
A volcanologist arrives at a countryside town recently named the second most desirable place to live in America, parentheses 20K or under, and discovers that the long dormant volcano, Dante's Peak, may wake up at any moment.
When you hear countryside, I think of like a golf course, not like a mountainside town? You should say mountainside town.
It's a mountainside town, not a countryside town. Beautiful landscapes, Drew. The shots that we got in this.
I like this place. It looked
Roger
like a
Donaldson
nice place to live.
He was on fire. Now, I don't know if he was actually in Washington State or if this was some other town, but
I saw something. They filmed most of it in Idaho or something.
That makes sense. It's all the same, isn't it? Washington, Idaho, Montana, North, South Dakota. It's all the same.
Spoken like a true Northeasterner here, right?
Canada, even. It's all exactly it's all the same. One big thing. East Coast bias, right? East Coast bias for life.
I will say this, and I don't know if this movie holds a special place in my movie watching repertoire, but I vividly remember in high school I had a earth science class, and the teacher's name was Mr. Wolf, and we watched this movie in class. And you don't get a chance to watch movies in class a lot of times. And the whole point of, I guess, how he justified us watching this was to call out all the scientific inaccuracies.
That's a good thing.
And we watched it over a couple days when we were doing volcanoes and stuff. And I don't know, this movie has always had a special place in my heart since then. Partly because I also like Pierce Brosnan a lot too.
So
So
if this was your Bond, so it's our
Yeah.
Bond, I guess you would
but
say.
I have a
our
lot of
generation's
memories
Bond.
of watching this thing, watching the
Yeah.
car drive through the lava, all the stuff that we're going to get into. So
So-
for me, it holds a special place.
So that's a different truck. So my memory of this movie is his red truck.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason to me that's like an iconic truck in the movies.
Yeah. It's like the
Even
Jurassic
though-
Park truck.
Yeah, exactly. And even though he doesn't drive it for very long, he does drive it through a river.
Yeah, the
which is
snorkel, man.
Pretty awesome. And it had the snorkel. But I don't know why, but I always like remembered that truck, even though I haven't seen this movie in like, I don't know, 20 years.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's that red truck. I always wanted that thing, you know?
It's a good movie. Like we'll get into the ratings at the end here, but let's go through the taglines. There's two here. One much better than the other. The pressure is building. ...
I don't
You like
hate
the
it.
ellipsis?
I don't hate it. It's fine.
You like the ellipsis at the end?
Yeah.
It like leaves a little bit to be wondering about.
Yeah, a little mysterious.
Second one, whatever you do, don't look back.
See, you gotta look back, Drew.
Yeah.
It's
See, I like the
it's-
first one better.
What do you live in the volcano town for than to eventually see it erupt?
Yeah.
Like you're waiting for that action, man.
You have ringside seats to that.
Yeah, you gotta
you
look
need
back.
you need to see it.
You gotta look back, Drew. Have to. It's a must
But-
look back situation.
Financials, budget, $116 million estimated. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for 1997.
It's a lot of money right now. A lot of money. And
Yeah.
it made cumulative worldwide gross 178 according to imdb.com.
I
So
can't
it-
believe it. 116. They spent 116 million. I can't even believe it.
Apparently. But I'll say this, the CG in this was pretty good.
Pretty top notch for the time.
It was really good. I think it held up. Like the volcano explosions and everything. It looks pretty good. The worst shot of the movie was Linda Hamilton looking out of the car window, and they spliced the
they
picture together.
superimposed.
Like they tried
yes.
to make it look like a reflection, and it just looked really
Now-
piss poor. If I'm being honest,
It's funny you brought that up, yeah, because I definitely chuckled at that one. Now I don't want to step on your toes here, Drew, but we have in our trivia or tidbit section,
yeah,
you have a tidbit about Volcano
Yes.
versus Dante's Peak and how they moved it up.
yeah, hit the people with it.
So I mean, I don't mean to step on your toes, just take that, but I just dawned on me that it might be the reason why the budget's so high.
They pumped more money into it, you mean, or the
So,
reason why
well,
they moved it?
That and this. So the cast and the crew of this movie found themselves in a distribution race with 20th Century Fox,
An arms race.
which was producing Volcano in 1997 at the time. Due to a sped up production schedule, this movie reached theaters almost 3 months earlier than Volcano and had better box office success. So thank you for grabbing that tidbit, Drew.
What
So
do you
doesn't that
think?
make sense that if they
does.
sped up production, that means they had to spend more money?
It could.
And it jacked the budget up.
It could, or it could be, hey, we're going to outspend these guys and make a better movie. But
Yeah.
at what point
And-
is it like diminishing returns? That's the
Yeah.
question I have.
It's like, it's like the Yankees buying free agents and stuff. It's that whole thing. So we got to beat this volcano thing. Oh, they got Tommy Lee Jones. All right, well, we got to make the volcano look real. Damn it.
You know what? And this is going to be maybe blasphemy to people listening out there, but give me Pierce Brosnan over Tommy Lee Jones any day.
Sure.
I don't-
yeah. How old is Tommy Lee Jones anyway? He's perpetually 66 years old.
Too much buffoonery on that movie. as you
I can't
would
even
say.
tolerate.
I can't
even
sanction
tolerate
it.
Yeah.
I can't sanction
Can't
his
sanction
buffoonery.
it. Can't tolerate it.
It's like, you know what though? Think about it. Look, have you ever seen Volcano? Because I haven't. I feel like I
No.
would fall asleep
No-
during that movie.
Nobody has.
Because who
Nobody's
wants
seen
to watch
Volcano.
like the senior citizen man, like talking
Yeah.
about the volcano exploding? Like it looks like such a boring movie.
Yeah.
This has Pierce Brosnan. It's got Linda Hamilton. I mean, it's the '90s, right? She's hot from Terminator. Like it was just a good movie, and this was entertaining through and through. Now, maybe the question, and I haven't seen Volcano, so blasphemy on me. Is
No,
it
it's
more
terrible.
scientifically accurate? Is that like, did they go that angle?
If
Like,
it
were they
is
trying to
Drew,
be?
if it is Drew, nobody cares. Boring. Give me the
Have you
fake
seen it?
stuff. Nope.
I have no desire to watch that one. Like
haven't seen it. Not gonna see it, Drew.
I don't want to. And this comes back to like we talk about the dualities, right? The movies that come out in twos. You have Deep Impact, Armageddon. Like Armageddon is much better than Deep Impact. I'm not going to watch Deep Impact. I'll watch Armageddon. Dante's Peak and Volcano. Give me Dante's Peak. I'm not watching
Sure.
Volcano. Day After Tomorrow, and there's probably something else out there that we did, that I just probably will watch Day After Tomorrow. Dennis Quaid
Yeah.
all day. Give me the good actor. That's
Jake
what I want to
Gyllenhaal,
watch.
No problem.
This thing won a couple awards too. And
Yeah, what kind of awards did it win, Drew?
we don't normally do awards on here, but I thought that they were worth calling out. So it won some type of television and music award for the music, which was good music, I guess. It had like an ominous score in the movie. But the ones that I'll call out, there's one in particular that I think will be near and dear to your heart. I don't know if you were at the ceremony, but there was Blockbuster Entertainment Award in 1998.
I was a presenter at that.
Linda Hamilton won for favorite actress in the action adventure category. Which would you think she would win that? Like, I don't know what she competed against, but she didn't really do much in this.
She wasn't really that good, was she?
And then the other one, it won and I never heard about this, so shame on me. The Golden Rooster Award in 1997.
For the prestigious
best foreign language film. Did you know about this? It's an award in China, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, it's funny to think about how many thousands of movies came out in the United States in 1997. And what's the nominee group for best foreign language film,
like,
you know?
Of all the things, too, like, usually these are like popcorn flicks. Like, why is this in that category? Like, they couldn't have nominated like a prestigious movie or something, you know? It's like
I don't know.
Disaster film. And then there was two, so it was nominated for that, didn't win, apparently. And then there was two other Young Artist Awards from 98. Best Performance in a Feature Film, Young Actress 10 or Under. The daughter won, Jamie Renee Smith, and then the son won, Jeremy Foley, who I call foul on that. I didn't think that kid was very good.
Yeah, no, he sucked. But my question is, first of all...
It's very matter of fact.
The 10-year-old girl did great. You know,
she was good.
Or 10 or under. I don't know how old
she played
she was.
in Peril very well.
She's pretty good. But why do the kid actors normally have the 3-name billing, right?
It's a recipe for success.
Jamie Renee Smith. You know, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Michael Ian Thomas. Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
You got to have that. It's a recipe for success. Speaking of which, this Jeremy Foley guy, to me, is a poor man's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They couldn't get him. They had to go with this guy.
They couldn't get anybody
he was the
better.
Backup plan.
This kid, like, you know, I could take him or leave him. He wasn't terrible, but, you know.
He was fine.
I'd leave him more than I'd take him.
Let's just jump into the movie. And as we talk about a lot of time, we're going to focus on the relationships and the characters. Let's talk to you about one volcanologist and a mayor of a small town, Harry Dalton, a.k.a. Pierce Brosnan.
Did he look like a Harry to you?
No.
Didn't look like a Harry.
He has two first names, too. Didn't they make a joke
Yeah.
about that? A guy with two first names, Harry Dalton?
Yeah.
And then Mayor Wando, which she didn't look like a Wando.
Didn't look like a Wando at all. Is that her maiden name or is that her, you know, her married name?
That's a very good question.
You know?
So the movie opens up with Harry. He's got this troubled past. He's been a volcanologist for a long time. He lost his fiance. He hadn't been in love much. He was in love once, and she died with a hot magma rock to the head.
Yeah, his wife left her. Left him. His wife left him.
Left in life,
In
basically.
life. Yeah, in life.
She left him in life. He seemed still shaken up over this to the point where he was doing angry push-ups that were not really to the ground at all, if I'm going to call foul on that as well. Like,
yeah, like
I could
who's
do
he
better
trying to
push-ups in gym
who's he
class
trying
than
to
that.
impress there? Who's he trying to impress, you know?
He's trying to shake it off, man.
Yeah.
So he's this world famous, I guess, volcanologist working for the environmental, I don't even know what the hell their group was. Some type of scientific group about checking out volcanoes in the US.
Volcano
Still
checkers.
shaking up. Volcano busters.
Volcano busters.
He's on vacation and he gets called back. I don't know why they couldn't just call him on the phone and read to him what was on the paper. His boss, who
Yeah. You got to come in to read a piece of paper. It was 1997.
it's like, you got to get your ass in here.
Why didn't he just read it to him?
Read it to him. Send him a fax. They got a fax machine. Can't they like send him a telegram? Like Luke
like,
Kang's uncle sent him one when his brother died.
These squiggly lines, you're right. They do look ominous.
I mean, what do you think of him as a character? Do you think he's believable as a volcanologist? Did you buy him?
Of course. I don't know. And a lot of it has to do with the English accent. You know, it makes anybody sound sophisticated, of course. But no, he looks and sounds like a smart guy. And, you know, not so much his other crew, but yeah, I totally believe him. If I'd follow him to the ends of the earth.
I have something to say about him. So he had some quote that I saw on IMDb where he was talking about preparing for the film and how hard he learned and how hard he pretended and whatever became this character. There was some interview where he says that he practiced shouting the line, quote, "It's a pyroclastic cloud," in front of a mirror for 6 days prior to shooting the scene. And his actual quote was, "It's the movie's key emotional scene, and I needed to get that enunciation just right. That's acting." What would Daniel Day-Lewis say about that?
I mean, I'll say this in positive. No one else in that entire movie worked as hard as he did.
That's true.
In this movie, if that's the case.
What would Christian Bale say about that? I mean, really, what would he say about that kind of quote? I feel like he's like building himself up by that quote there. Maybe like respect him a little bit less here.
Yeah, he thinks he's an actor. No, he's a movie star. He's a movie star. He's not an actor, Drew.
The other big character we mentioned is Mayor Wando. So you've got this dueling relationship where you've got the scientists coming in to look at the town, and you've got this mayor of this small town who grew up in the town, similar to, we talked about Mayor of Easttown recently. She's from the town. She grew up in the town. She became the mayor. Born and raised in this small town on the mountain. What's up with her right now? Like, is she a successful mayor? I couldn't really tell.
I don't care. Don't care about her mayorship.
What's her politics?
Her mayordom.
Do you know?
Her mayordom.
What does she support?
She's probably, I don't know. She probably leans Republican slightly.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know what makes me say that. I just believe so. But I don't care about any of that. I just care about her personal life. So she is a single mother of two, Drew. She got ourselves a bad father situation here.
Bust out the barometer, man.
Her husband just walked out on her one day, not in the movie, not even seen in the movie, just talked about. Husband left one day, just got up and walked out.
Off-screen barometer.
What's going on there, Drew? Why did he walk out? We don't know. They don't tell us why. What's going on there?
Well, she even speculates that her mother-in-law doesn't really know what happened to this guy. Did he lose it? Was he worried the volcano was going to erupt? Maybe he's the smartest guy in the room. You guys are crazy. We got to move. This volcano is going to blast. Why don't we just move? And then she's the mayor of the town. She's like, I can. I'm the mayor. And he's like, yes, you can. Find a new job. We're all going to die and lose all of our possessions if we don't move. Sell the house. And she kept refusing. And then he just left one day. Yeah, maybe that's the story we don't know about. And that's maybe, are you on his side if that's the case?
Maybe he's a scientist and he knew and nobody listened to him.
Harry Dalton's old colleague, you know? So let me ask you this. Would you be on her side with that or would you be on his side with that? If let's say he was a scientist.
I mean, I don't want to condone leaving your kids high and dry, but I don't know. Maybe the kids were being jerks about it too. Maybe they were saying, Dad. They threw the Y in there, Dad. We can't leave our house. It's like, shut up, kids. Yes, you can. It's called moving. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you get new jobs. Sometimes there's a volcano in your backyard. You got to move.
Let me ask you this. Can you be a successful mayor and also own a coffee shop / general store, like Lee's General Store, like whatever this place is?
Look, you gotta because, that mayor's salary ain't paying for it when your city's under 20,000 population, man.
Let me tell you what makes a good general store. When you see the mason jar full of licorice, you got the candy, the penny candy.
Yep.
That place looked like some place I would like to go on vacation. I'll just say that.
You get a nice sandwich made and it's wrapped in that white wax paper.
Yeah,
that's good
exactly.
Stuff. And
she looks like she's doing coffee. She's doing sandwiches. It's like a restaurant too. She lives above the place.
And you buy a can of soda and it's 40 cents. It's not 50. It's 40.
Do they have A-Treat out there? Do they got?
They have the Pacific Northwest equivalent of A-Treat. I don't know what that is.
The only people that are going to know about A-Treat are the people that live where we live. But if you know about A-Treat, you should get some. Buy it online. A-Treat.
The best generic soda that 40 cents can buy.
A-Treat cream soda. That's my jam. And the birch beer. Yeah. Those are the two best ones.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, you didn't tell me your thoughts on the husband. Do you believe in my theory, or was it more straightforward? He was just cheating, lying scumbag.
I got the impression he was kind of a cheating, lying scumbag. Maybe just kind of ran off with maybe his coworker or something like that, or he just left.
I don't know, man. I just feel like that guy was just too smart for the town, and he got away while he could. And you know what?
Yeah,
his house isn't under ash right now. I'll tell you that much.
he's a smart trendsetter, man.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll say this though is, to your point, it does get a little interesting when you talk about the mother-in-law situation.
Yes.
Because does that give you a clue into what happened with the husband or not. Because we mentioned the mother-in-law,
Yeah.
she claims to know where he is, but maybe she doesn't. Do you think that lays a clue into something?
Well, I'll tell you, it gives away that he's at least born in this town too. So it's not like she met him and he was some out of towner, like a Harry Dalton Pierce Brosnan who stumbled into the town by accident.
Yeah.
He must have been born and raised there because his mother was born and raised there. So do you find it at all odd that with the husband being a scumbag deadbeat, just left town, if we're led to believe that?
Alcoholic.
That the mother still communicates with the grandmother. Now, I know you don't want to, it's not her fault, blah, 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 blah. But if the husband was a scumbag, some of that stain is on the mother, I feel.
I think she does it out of not denying the children access to their grandmother.
Yeah.
And
she's a
not to
great
mention,
grandmother, like not a great grandmother, but a great, grandmother.
She's like a very good one.
Yeah. Yes.
Not to mention, she's got the sweetest house of all. She's on the lake. Like, would you not go to that place? It looks like Stallone's house from Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's how nice her property was. Maybe that's why she's still friends with the mother-in-law. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great property. I wouldn't want to leave there, unless, the volcano was erupting or something. But
the kid's up there. It's going to take more than a volcano to make her leave in a bad way.
But I don't know, like, is there times where, Linda Hamilton is like talking bad about the father, saying, "Oh, God, scumbag, like they can't make ends meet. This mayor gig isn't cutting it." And it's like she says something a little too real in front of the grandmother. The grandmother's like, "Hey, whoa, that's my son." It's got to be an awkward relationship. I feel like very rarely does this happen.
She didn't even get out of the car, though. That's the thing. Like, so when she dropped the kids off, she waved, and then she called the grandmother by her first name. So that to me is also telling. I don't think they're on good grounds. So I think it's just, hey, the kids want to go see grandma. She can't deny him that. That's where I think. Before
we move on, let me ask you this here. When we first meet the grandma, Pierce Brosnan's in the car. He needs to take a look at that mountain. He's got to take a look at that volcano. So they're driving up the mountain to grandma to drop the kids off. So, they can see the mountain, not lugging the kids around so they don't screw off, do something stupid. As soon as they get there, the grandma's like, "Oh, who's this man you have in your car?"
Instant judgment.
And then she's like, "Oh, you know what? Why don't we all go to the lake? I'll go too. Here, I'll get my bathing suit." Was that a C block, Drew?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what 100%. I thought.
100%.
Yeah.
It was totally calculated.
She didn't want Linda Hamilton, go hauling off and finding a new man because maybe she wants hope that her son will come back to his senses and rekindle the relationship.
I don't know. My only thing is, I think maybe the grandmother thinks she's too good. Her son's too good for her. So I don't know that it's. I don't know. I think it was just out of spite.
That's not what she said on her deathbed.
Yeah, well, that's true, right? I mean, death changes somebody's perspective on something, especially when you got acid burns all over your body. But no, what do you think of Dalton and Wando together? So Pierce and Linda Hamilton.
You say Dalton, and I'm going to Roadhouse, man. No. It's hard for me to separate it.
Would this movie be better with Patrick Swayze in it instead?
Kind of. I think
so. Probably would have.
Yeah,
he's more of a scientific type.
There would have been more fights. I'll tell you that much. Real good stepfather vibes for the Harry Dalton man. He's doing magic for the kids.
The magic trick is the key.
Saving lives. He saved the kid's life the first 10 minutes he met him. I'm telling you, man.
Do you think he would be a good stepfather? Would he? Is he in it for the long haul? Let me say this: is he in it for the long haul?
I think so. The way he immediately bonded with those kids, like I feel like once he stepped foot in that volcano town, it felt like home to him, didn't it?
He knew what he needed to be. He knew that it was something that he needed.
He was automatically, smitten with the most powerful woman in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was, he knew he needed to move on with his life after doing all those push-ups and all that. And what else are you doing those push-ups for than to, to snag yourself a butte like Linda?
Jokes on him though. That town got wiped off the face of the earth here, so I don't know. He's not going back there.
I never said he was going to stay. I'm thinking he was going to pluck him out.
Take her to Portland with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's where
he go back.
Where the big things happen.
What you think of the actor chemistry? Last question on this topic. What do you think of their chemistry? Do you think they were a good match from an actress perspective?
Not at all. Not the slightest. And sorry, but I kind of blame it on Linda.
Yes, me too.
I don't think she's a very good actress, Drew. Like she's good at being Sarah Connor.
That's the knock, right? Like, and it's not her fault, but I can't see her as not Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And it's just, she's
Sometimes
one of those typecasted
you are who
actors.
you are. Yeah, and the thing about Pierce is like, I think Pierce acted in circles around everyone in this movie. But that's but that's not to say he's a good actor either. It's just he was the best of the bunch.
I thought he was good, but he wasn't putting a clinic on or anything like that.
No,
He
no,
was,
not at all.
comparatively speaking, maybe, but let's talk about some of his crew, because there's really not much to talk about here. Just kind of name some of them, and then it leads into a little bit about the town. But he was part of this geological research or geological survey for the United States based out of Portland. And he had like that ragtag group where you've got all the different scientists. But unlike a lot of the other movies that we've done here, none of these guys or girls were any memorable other than the boss, in my opinion. So you had Paul Dreyfus, who's the boss.
The boss.
Then you got Greg, who's the dude from True Lies that had the camera in the end with a gun in it.
Yep, it's curly hair Greg.
And then you got Stan, who's not no last name, but AKA Colonel or Cheng Zi from 24.
Yep.
And then you got Terry Furlong, who has two names, who's the beard guy that breaks his leg with the machine trying to rescue it, which did nothing to serve the plot of the movie outside of maybe added a little action.
Yeah.
And then you got Nancy, who doesn't have a last name. So half of them have a last name, half of them don't.
Nancy Taylor.
And Nancy is really just there to be like, look, you know what the most acting that all these people did? When Paul dies and they just look at him on the bridge.
Look at him.
And they just walk away. That's it.
All right, let's just jump to that real quick. So when the boss dies, I don't know. Am I out of line to say this? Let's say your boss is kind of a jerk.
Did he have it coming?
Well, I'm not even saying that. You don't want him to die at all. It'd be terrible if he died. But if it happens...
I mean, he did embarrass Pierce. Like, Pierce tried to put the town on alert.
If it happens, like, is it just, well,
Especially since
that's what you get.
He said, hey, we shouldn't put the town on alert. So it's kind of his fault, because had they put the town on alert...
Nobody would be there right now. It'd be a ghost town. Not a literal ghost town, a figurative ghost town.
He wouldn't be pathetically falling off of that bridge as he's like trying to drive the van up thing, which they should have put the Hummers behind him so they could have pushed him.
Can I tell you, one of the most pathetic scenes in the history of cinema was him with zero athletic talent trying to do something on that bridge. He didn't even attempt because he knew he had no athletic ability to make that jump. He knew.
I mean, come on. He got out of the car. First off, he was late driving. Then he was late getting out of the car. Then he was late trying to jump off the thing. Like, he made zero attempt for his own life. Like, he probably deserved to die. I mean, honestly, like, let's not call people out, besides the grandmother, who also did as well. But I mean, let's get into him in a second, but let's go back to the town. So the town, the crew, there's nothing to say about them, right? I mean, you're good, right?
I can't believe you said it, and it just dawned on me. You're right. Is that the two people that were the cause for the action scenes in this movie are the two people that died?
They had it coming.
That's what you get.
Karma.
That's what you get.
But they got everybody else dead. Like Paul probably got everyone died, but got them dead. Is that even a term?
They got dead. They got dead.
They got dead. Let's talk about the town. This quote, small town, Dante's Peak. That's the name of the town.
It's a good town name.
It has a plaque somewhere in an ash that says second most desirable place to live. Small print. U.S. population under 20.
What a disaster.
Somehow that plaque is just somewhere in the ash, unless Mayor Wando just carries it around. But they're like so proud of this. Like, would you say that about like our town? If you got second most desirable place in the U.S., would you be showing up to the ribbon cutting ceremony?
It's loser talk, man. Second most.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby, man. If you ain't first, you're last.
Under 20K, it's like, come on, man. It's like nothing.
Yeah,
I don't mean to belittle the 20,000 towns, but like, you know who you are.
It's the kind of thing that would go in like the AAA magazine.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not knocking living there, but like, I am going to knock living in a volcano town, but I'm not knocking living in a small town or anything. But like, come on.
I mean, we kind of live in a small town, right?
Second best? No, I don't know.
I know our population. It's not under 20, but
a couple 100,000 people, Drew.
Yeah, but so you wouldn't be proud of this award, basically, is what you're saying.
No, it's just bullshit.
Do you like the town?
And then like there's a parade. It's like, is there anything worse than a parade, Drew? Like,
I'm not a fan of parades.
Honestly, All you do is stand there and wait and watch stuff go by. I'm sorry. I'm super tired, so like maybe I'm in a bad mood if I'm like super downer in this episode. But I've got more
Badway over here.
I've got more negativity to spout about this town. So
so you wouldn't live in this town. You wouldn't get an Airbnb in this place. Volcano aside.
I'd get an Airbnb. I certainly wouldn't live here.
But let's say
absolutely.
Let's say hypothetically you're on vacation in this town.
Yeah.
And they just happen to win this second most desirable place to live in the U.S. population. You wouldn't trek down to the main street?
No, I would regret signing that lease on that Airbnb because it's a whole thing. I don't need to see a parade. They're going to shut down Main Street.
Can they handle the traffic in this place?
No, they can't handle it.
I mean, clearly the bridge falls apart. Nobody can get out. So
yeah. I mean, the contingency plans. I mean, who's running this town? Who's the mayor of this town?
What'd you think of the people? Because there was a good mix of people. So there was like the nice people, but then there was the rabble-rouser, like South Park kind of like angry citizen, Parks and Recreation, Pawnee Town people.
And that's my main gripe with this whole movie, Drew, is the people in this town and the small town mentality that I'm sure exists all over the country. And certainly in movies like this, where they're so thick-headed and they're so, this is my town and you can't tell me to leave and I was born here and I've been living here my whole life and that volcano never went off, so there's no way it'll go off now.
That's literally a quote from the grandma.
Right. Who lives in a volcano town, Drew? Like, who does that? Like, the thing could go off any day.
I mean, I guess Hawaii.
You're a fool. You're a fool.
Hawaii.
You're a fool. You're hitching your wagon, But no, you're not a fool. Okay, I'll take it. I'll walk it back a little bit.
We're going to get like, if you left a 5-star review on the show, please don't change it.
I didn't name your town. Your town's cool, whoever's listening. No, I'll walk it back a little bit and say that you're a fool if you live in a town like this and you aren't prepared to pick it up and leave
you can't
at the sign of danger.
You can't wrap your head around the fact that there might be a disaster that could happen.
And it's like this pride of, we're Dante's Peak, pound the chest, and we can't let a little seismic activity, scare us away.
Can't scare away that real estate development.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about the real estate stuff, Drew.
Yeah, I mean,
why wasn't this town evacuated, Drew?
Well,
what was the reason?
Let me ask you this. So Pierce comes in and just hit the people up. If you haven't seen this movie, there's not much to it outside of the fact that Pierce is brought in off of vacation to come and check out the seismic activity. And he sees some things that are troubling. So he wants to put the town on alert. I don't even know really what the implications of the town being on alert are. They weren't explicitly saying they were going to evacuate people, but I think it was, hey, get ready, because if we see something that looks more troubling, we might need to get you out.
You know what I think it means? I think it means pack a bag, people. Just grab all your valuables, maybe pack the car, don't leave yet, but be ready and leave if you feel unsafe.
But let me ask you, wouldn't you want somebody to tell you that? Hey, this thing might blow up. You might want to have an overnight bag packed up.
I mean, I don't mean to get political, Drew, but have you lived in this world the last year, Drew?
I mean, but think about it, like,
if somebody knew something in March of 2020, wouldn't you want them to know right away?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, so if somebody said to you, "Hey, there's some seismic activity going on," it doesn't mean that this is going to blow up. Pierce didn't go in there freaking out, screaming. He was just saying, "Hey, I think you need to call a meeting."
Yes.
Which there was a small council meeting that they had.
There was going to be a vote.
And the big thing that these townspeople were upset about was that there's some bigwig real estate developer that wants to come in, which has its own set of implications. Like, would you want some guy building high-rise like apartments in your town? Like, that's a whole nother aspect of like ruining the small town feel. This guy's going to put shopping malls and crap here.
Yeah. Do you want that?
I don't know that people actually want that either.
I mean,
so
I want it as a vacationer.
Yeah,
of Dante's Peak, not as a citizen.
The citizen's like, Wando, does she really want that? Like, she's the small town feel. We really kind of want that. But so they want to put this town on alert. And what happens is the townspeople start freaking out because they're worried this real estate developer guy is going to pull his money. And they ultimately call in Pierce's boss, and Pierce's boss starts freaking out. And he's like, we got to pause this alert. And they cite two different events. There was some event in the 70s where they put a town on alert and the economy tanked and everybody moved out of the town. And then the other one was Mount St. Helens, where it actually did erupt and there was damage and people died. So you got a 50-50 shot of you might die and you might lose your town, which clearly happened here, or, maybe it's fine. I personally would err on the side of caution.
What's the quote of your favorite Batman ever, Ben Affleck?
If there's a 1% chance, whatever the hell it is, right?
We have to take it as absolute certainty. What would Batman do in this situation?
I mean, he would come in and Bruce Wayne would be like buying the town out, make sure people file their houses out.
He would buy the whole town.
He'd buy the whole town and then
and
tell
kick
them
everyone
leave.
out to save them from this volcano.
Real estate developer Bruce Wayne comes in and we gotta.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right?
Drunken billionaire buys town.
Yeah, that's the bail one. But so let's say this, right? 2 questions for you. One, is it really worth it for them to get this real estate guy to come in? And part B of that question, they're so in a hurry, like, we got to get this guy to invest before the town goes on alert.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just pull his money later.
You
like,
can't. That's got to be
deception.
disclosure. There's disclosure laws. It's like buying a house. It's like buying a house with like a sinkhole, but you're trying to hide the sinkhole.
And if you're that guy, wouldn't you? These guys are savvy, right? You're not just some random guy with $1 billion that you're just going to put in. You've got sources. He's going to know Pierce Brosnan from the U.S. Ecological Survey is here looking at this crap. Like, he's probably got people.
Yeah, if he's going to put real estate in a volcano city,
right,
the first thing he's going to do is talk to a scientist.
He's got people.
Yeah.
He's got leaks. I mean, there's going to be leaks like, hey, Pierce Brosnan is in this town. You better watch out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to take the guy that...
Do you think that he already did ask?
He might
and then the city gave him like a fake scientist. I tested the pH levels and this volcano is set to stay dormant for the next 700 years.
They might have. I mean, it's funny.
They dressed the guy up in a white lab coat and faked the whole thing.
But let me ask you this then. Part B of this question, or part 2, whatever. His boss coming in. So he calls Pierce off of vacation.
Yeah.
He's like off of vacation, and he tells him to look at the stuff. And he's like, oh, come look at this paper, whatever. Come check this town out. It's probably nothing, but just go look at it. Why does he call in his best guy if he just needs some like patsy to come in and really just check the box? Because like, would it really cause a panic?
Yeah.
Like, why did he even bother?
It seemed all the boss wanted was the box checked. You're right.
I don't understand.
I don't know why he took a guy off. Imagine if you were on vacation and your boss pulled you off of vacation off some bullshit.
Yeah. And he made it seem as such that Pierce wasn't over the death of his girlfriend or whatever, his fiance or his wife, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Why would he even send him in that situation if he thought he wasn't mentally ready to handle it? Just poor management.
And then when Pierce actually found something, he told the guy, you know what, you need a vacation. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I mean, that's the thing. After he completely destroys his life in front of everybody and tells him, you're not ready for this, see you in 2 weeks. He was on vacation. Why did you call him in?
I don't know. I don't like the whole thing, but I don't know. Long story short, Drew, would you rather live in a nice, peaceful, small town with a volcano in the backyard or a nice, peaceful, small town with a volcano, I don't know, 2 towns over?
I'll be 2 towns over.
Like, why does this town exist? Who's living in this town? You're idiots.
I mean, it's
Move
nice.
Away. Move away.
Nice.
Yeah, real nice. Super nice. I don't know, man. It's just too dangerous. Like, why would you set yourself up for that? And then why would you be so thick-headed about it? I just can't get over it. I hate it. I don't like anybody in this town. They got what they deserved.
I'm going to talk about this, right? Because this is a nice segue into the actual explosion and the destruction of the town. And I want to bring
Let's get to the good stuff.
The meat and the potatoes. Let's get to them. Because I want to use the grandmother as a transition here.
Grandma!
Because the grandma to me is the absolute worst character in this movie.
So,
and
can I tell you something about the grandma?
Yeah,
Her name is Elizabeth Hossman, the actor. She worked on Dante's Peak in 1997, and sadly, that's the last movie that she ever worked in.
Did she die, or she just was not a good actress?
Nope, she just retired, and then she's still alive. She's 94 years old today.
Okay, man, that's a good life. she had enough of that destruction life. No, so the grandma, right? She's on quote, like, Pierce is trying to warn them and all this stuff, and I want to go through the danger signs in a second, but she's the one that said, it didn't blow up in 70 and it's not going to blow up now. Like, she just can't get through her head.
She would know, right? Yeah, she would know.
She's lived here all her life. I mean, I wouldn't want to leave that sweet property either.
Yep.
but it doesn't mean that you can't go back. Like, just see what happens. Like, I just don't understand it. And she's a jerk to Lyndall Hamilton. She's just a jerk character. And the fact that she doesn't want to leave, she doesn't want to evacuate, puts everybody's life in danger, especially her grandchildren. And she atones for that at the end. Yeah. But let's go through some of the danger signs. I wrote some of these down. And the first one that popped up in the movie, the boiling hot springs. It fried the skinny dippers alive. What'd you think of that?
That's super dangerous, but I feel like they could have lived, right?
Like, does it get from 0 or whatever? Like, let's say it's, I don't know what a hot tub is. Let's call it like 100 or something. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Call it a hot tub, and then say that it went to, like, does it go to boiling immediately?
Yeah.
Like, can it?
I feel like you have time. Like, you could be like very badly hurt, but they had to have had time. Unless they were like mid-coitus, in which, you know.
I mean, they might have been.
Maybe he tried to finish.
Was it?
Hold on.
That's why the water got so hot.
Yeah.
He boiled the water from the friction.
When you all right, never mind. Move on.
Parental advisory, everybody.
I was gonna go somewhere.
When you were in there, like, was this PG-13 or was it rated R?
It was a PG-13.
So there was no nudity in this movie. But
no chance of nudity. You could show a bare butt.
Well, they had the bare ass,
male or female.
But it was a dead body's butt, which
is that was like clearly worse? That was a fake butt. You could show a fake butt.
So what's worse, a dead body's naked butt that's a fake one, or a real person's butt that's not dead? Like, what's more to the rating and the board, whatever the rating system is?
Oh yeah, the real alive butt was more showable than the dead butt. You can show violent. I mean more I don't know, risque. I mean.
Like, it goes against the rating.
You can show a dead butt in a rated G movie, Drew. That's fine because it's.
It's true. If it's a dead body, like, they don't care. The rating system doesn't care
because it's likely not a real human. It's probably a dummy. So it's like
rubber.
You can show dead butt. You can show dead dog. You can show dead dog. It's fine. It's all good.
I don't know. Hostel 2 might take issue with that.
That was live. That was live dong, Drew.
Yeah, that's true.
It was live.
Some of the other danger signs. Dead trees from, I think, the carbon monoxide or something, or whatever.
Ooh.
Dead squirrels just popping up all over the mountain.
Squirrels are dead all the time, Drew. I'm not worried about it.
Bubbling water.
Water bubbles. I could bubble. I could blow it in my water cup right now, Drew. And
I have some seltzer here. Yeah. Is there a volcano here?
Yeah.
And then
maybe the boss was right. Maybe this was bullshit.
There was the earthquake that happened when the guy was trying to get the robot.
I mean, yeah, that guy was clumsy.
He tripped.
Wasn't he?
The water supply turning to acid, basically, which was in the closet, that water closet system.
That's concerning. That concerns me.
So when you turn that on, like, would you drink? Well, how much money would it take for you to drink that from the tap?
Oh man,
would you try it?
I'd sip it.
If I gave you like $20, would you try it?
I'd sip it. Like, imagine the long-term effects.
Like, how much money is worth it?
Screwing up your esophagus.
It's like drinking chemicals.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably some other danger signs, but those were all the ones that Pierce saw besides the pens that were shaking everything.
Yeah.
So this leads to them actually going on alert. Things start actually happening. They do the evacuation of the town, and this is when all hell breaks loose. And there's not much to say here outside of, the thing is basically erupting, and this is when the town is in chaos. So there's people trying to leave. They had the meeting at the school, and people are getting trampled. Do you think that meeting was handled well by them?
Sure, if it was like yesterday.
You got to know that there's a stampede coming.
Yeah.
You had that many people packed in with only a few exits, it's going to be a stampede.
It's like all single file, everyone don't panic, and of course people get trampled left and right.
What do you think about the helicopter guy? We didn't talk about him.
Secret villain of the movie, Drew. The helicopter guy. I don't even know his name. Doesn't matter. First of all, when one of our scientist buddies breaks his leg because he's clumsy, trying to do his robot, he refuses to go into the air unless they renegotiate his rate. Now, is that evil or shrewd businessman?
Smart businessman.
I
mean, he knew the guy was in a volcano.
Oh, you want your boy saved? It's going to be an extra $5,000.
They couldn't find another helicopter guy. Like, there's no other helicopter.
Small town.
They could get one from the town over, can't they? It's a helicopter.
Guy's leg's broken. He's bleeding out, Drew. Gotta get him.
I like how he's immediately back on the computer after that with a crutch.
Yeah. Imagine the chopper ride to the hospital.
Yeah.
After he waited to negotiate his rate. That's got to be the most awkward ride ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and then he winds up going down with the treasurer or whoever that guy was, the bald guy, the real estate developer. They paid what, $15K in cash.
It was like $15K in cash. He was given a helicopter ride to get out of town.
I mean, they call in the National Guard.
Yeah.
And my other favorite part of this movie is the local cop, the one cop of the town, like the only guy that has a badge, telling the National Guard what to do. Like, hey, buddy, go over here. You get this exit. It's like, they'd be like, all right, buddy, go
please,
sit down.
buddy. We know what we're doing. We've been trained on this our whole lives. You get the hell out of here.
It's not some random like army guy. Like, this is the National Guard. Like, this is what they're trained for. Exactly. It's like we talked about the patheticness of the boss dying. I don't know. Is there anything that you want to talk about of this explosion? Like, I thought the CG was really good, and maybe that's the main thing that I would talk about. And the way that the action happened. We'll go through some of the things that happened. I want to play a game with you in a second, but I mean, what else stood out to you?
Can we talk about like the movie as like watchability in this section? Because I do have something I want to bring up here. Like, I know, obviously, like, you know, you could say, oh, the movie's manufactured. That's inherently all movies are manufactured, but they manufactured all of the action in this movie on unnecessary events, and it kind of bugged me a little bit. Now, I like this movie. But I didn't like that the only reason why there was any action in the first hour of the movie is because the stupid guy went down to fix his robot when they were on the mountain.
It was a slow burn.
And then there was a small earthquake and he broke his leg. Like, that was a tense scene, quote unquote. And then the other tense scene really is, like, they could have just escaped the town. Everyone would have pretty much escaped the town. Except for the kids went to go get Grandma and Grandma refused to leave. So the kids jump in a car and go get Grandma themselves, which caused Sarah Connor and James 007 to go after the kids, go after Grandma, and all of a sudden they're like right next to the volcano.
Yeah. And
then they have to make a heroic escape to get themselves saved. So it's like those two stupid decisions caused pretty much the entire climax of the movie. And I wasn't a fan of that. Like, I thought it was lazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I still really like this movie a lot, and it just, I don't know, for some reason, I wasn't bored at all. I was really liking it while I was watching it, but I agree with your points because it was manufactured drama. Like, my question is there anyone off screen that was still in this town that refused to leave, like the grandma, or did they really get, they said, like, we got everybody out. We got everybody out.
Yeah.
Like, but did they really?
I don't know. I kind of think, like, when the thing's going off, people, like, the realness hits and only the real imbeciles stay.
How about all the cars that fell off the highway as it crashed, like, and they were just still driving?
Some of those people died for sure.
Like, I don't know. There's something, if we talk about the boss dying is pathetic, there's something to me like extremely pathetic about watching like the highway on-ramp collapse and the cars just like they just fall off one by one, like pathetically. Like, it's like sad.
I like how, like, when it was clear he wasn't getting any tire traction, that van was just not making it.
It's going backwards.
Yeah, and then he still, bless his heart, he tried to floor it to the point where the car just like pathetically leaned over the bridge. It was not like, there's no way it was going to make any kind of jump.
Like, it just squirts off the edge.
Yeah, it just starts to squirt off the edge.
Like, my question to you is, why the hell was he not in the Hummer with all the other people? Were they out of room?
You got to save the equipment. They had the $400,000 piece of crap robot. You had to save the equipment.
This is taxpayer money. Like, what does he care? Like, they're just getting more.
Dude, that's like your house is burning down and you're running upstairs to go grab your Xbox.
But I paid for my Xbox. He didn't pay for that stuff.
I got so many games downloaded on there.
If somebody bought my Xbox for me and I was getting it, like, I mean, there was a shortage of Series X right now, so maybe I would be running back.
When would you get a second one? You do never get it.
How could you get it? Yeah. But I mean, it was sad to me that he was in that van. And why didn't they have him go first? You mentioned it earlier. They should have been in the Hummer. They could have pushed him over the bridge. It
was the least mobile vehicle. He should have gone first in case something crazy happens. Then, like, the Hummers could have made it.
Could he have run? Like, let's say he got out like early. He got out early.
You think he runs anywhere? Ever?
He waddles. That guy waddles.
He doesn't know how to run.
I don't know. I'll say this. The other thing too, wouldn't people be suffocating from ash? And this leads me into the next the next section that we got to talk about. We did this a long time ago. A long, long time ago when we talk about like Home Alone 2. I forgot what episode 5 or something. I don't even remember. Is it Dead or Alive? Let's call it Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
So I've got a bunch of things that happen to people here, and we'll quickly go through some of these. We can debate whether they lived or not or whatever. Just hit me with what you think. We'll go through one by one. Skinny dipping in the boiling water. If you were hooking up with that girl in that water, would you have died?
Alive.
Dead or alive? Alive? All right. Why do you say that?
Alive, but dick burnt, but alive.
Okay. You got it first. What about if you had to take a shower in that water supply while it was turning to sulfuric acid? Like what would happen to you?
You're alive because like
you're alive.
All right. You're saying you're sitting in your shower today, and it starts to get a little too hot. Someone flushes the toilet. You get out of the way. You jump out.
But what about that brown water that's
alive.
coming through? You're still alive?
If you're not paying attention and you like drink a little bit, yeah, you're alive. You might be severely messed up, but you're alive.
What about drinking that water?
Yeah. Because I think you only get a taste before you realize you screwed up.
You spit it out?
Yeah, you spit it out. You get burned internally, which sucks, but you're alive. You're fine.
This one's not for you, I guess, but it's these kids. Would they have been successfully able to drive that car to go pick up their grandma up a mountain? Dead or
no
alive?
way. Dead. Zero
if
visibility.
You were an 8-year-old kid.
They would have driven right off the cliff, Drew. They could barely touch the pedals. You couldn't see jack shit. Dead.
What about the lava slowly lurching into the grandma's house, dead or alive?
It was like, surprise! It busted through like Jason Voorhees, man. I tell you, you're dead, man. You're not outrunning the lava.
Have you ever seen videos? You ever go to like a big bonfire or something, and you stand like 500 feet away and you're still burning?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever see the videos of lava where they have like cameras and stuff that is like 100 yards away and it just lights on fire because of how hot the lava is?
Absolutely.
That's what that would be.
Hey, and so I learned this. So if you get thrown into that lava, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't just sink and like disintegrate and burn quickly. You actually would sit on top of the lava.
Because it's hard?
Yeah. And you would just slowly burn to death in a very painful manner.
How did you learn about that?
I just looked it up.
Would you light on fire? Or you would just burn?
I'm not sure actually, but it would be
try it.
It would be a fairly quick death, but also a slow and painful death.
That's
like like if you were sitting in lava, you probably wouldn't be able to get yourself up and out of it. Like you're done.
You're not going in like quicksand. It's not. You're not.
So you're done, but it might take like 20 seconds of like the worst pain of your life.
All right. Well, how about this? It's sort of the same. How about your boat is in sulfuric acid and it's starting to slowly leak. Uh-huh. Your motor runs out and you can't run the motor anymore.
Yes.
So you got to take your coat and wrap it around your arm so that you can like oar yourself to shore with your arm wrapped in like a London fog coat or whatever the hell he has.
Let me ask you, do the fine folks at London Fog, do they have stronger material than a metallic boat?
It's a Columbia jacket, like whatever's in that thing.
Yeah. Man, that insulation, I'll tell you.
I mean, if you haven't seen this scene, it's absolutely ridiculous. We'll post it on well,
Facebook, it's better than just sticking your hand in, I guess. So,
what would you do though? I mean, I know we're trying to go through these quickly, but like, what would be going through your head? Like, you're in that boat, it's sinking, and you're not on shore. Like, what are you gonna do? You got nothing in there. I just
quit, man. Just quit.
How about the grandma walking in the sulfuric acid?
Well, that's why
jumps in.
That's why grandma said, F this. You guys, you're using a coat? What are you kidding me? She had to save lives. So
Did she redeem herself with that?
No, but she's dead.
She's
the reason they're all up there, but she's dead because she's old. So if she were, say if Pierce jumped out and did that, he would be severely hurt, but he would have survived.
Yeah, he'd be alive. All right.
Yeah.
How about this part? And I vote that we make this the cover for the episode. Driving whatever the hell kind of car this was, it's got a snorkel, not like a heat shield from like the space shuttle Columbia.
No, this was the green van. This was not Pierce's sweet red.
This was the stolen one. Yeah, he hotwired this one.
Yeah.
So driving the car through burning lava to the point where it was like literally on fire. And like they're in like a metal thing. Like the space shuttle has a heat shield for this specific reason. Like they're entering the atmosphere. Yeah. Like they were on like literally on fire, cooking in this car, dead or alive.
Oh, yeah, you're alive. Just turn the AC on.
Well, they just got the AC recharged. I guess they're good. They're good. What about
if the truck has no AC? You're dead.
What about just literally breathing in the ash? Like nobody's suffocated in this at all.
Well, yeah. Alive. Just
Alive?
If you're a mouth breather, dead. So I'd be dead.
How about
Depends.
surviving the car crash as Pierce drives this car that I don't even know how he was able to get up to speed with all the tires burned out. And like, how did the engine even work after that thing was on fire? How were they not burned alive in there? But he drove like very precisely with precision into the very small mining doors through the pyroclastic cloud.
I couldn't do that. Yeah, dead. Because they would have been head-on collision. Boom.
He
dead.
torpedoed that thing and they just had a couple of cuts on their head.
Yeah.
Dead?
And that little girl is like, she's 8 years old. She's like barely 50 pounds.
They didn't have a car seat.
No car seat.
They didn't have a car seat. They're dead. Definitely dead.
Dead. At least one casualty.
What about
the dog's dead for sure.
Yeah, the dog's definitely dead. They didn't have the kennel for it, like little carrier.
Yeah.
What about compound fracture like Pierce has on his arm where his like bone is sticking out?
Yeah.
Like what would you be dead or alive after
I don't know about the survival rate of like how long like so the dude that what's that James Franco movie where he like broke
127 hours?
Cut his own arm off to survive because he got stuck in the crack. It's like I guess you could survive a couple days with a broken bone.
But he was like in ash. Like he was in the filthiest like situation. Like how does he not have blood
infections?
Like,
you're right.
Sepsis.
I don't know. He's a scientist. He probably figured something out. I don't know.
He wrapped his arm with his like shirt.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm gonna go
like,
dead.
Filth shirt.
I'm gonna go
like,
dead.
I'll tell you this, and this is the last thing I'll say in this section here. But when that like roof caved in on him, like and he was just in the car, and he's basically a sardine in like a aluminum can. I would have no will to live. Like, just kill me right there.
Just kill me now.
Just kill, kill me.
So, do you think you'd die faster if you mentally checked out?
100%.
Do you think that's a real thing?
I would will myself to death in that situation. There's no way.
I wonder if a positive mental attitutte could like buy you an extra day.
No, it could, but I don't have that kind of attitude.
Yeah,
For
me too.
Like,
I would quit. I would pack it in.
I'll tell you what. I'm claustrophobic to begin with. You put me in the mine alone, and I'm probably already like kind of freaking out. You put me in the car to go get that little ELO thing or whatever the hell it was, so he could get the signal.
The elf.
I'm
the
dead. Elf. Yeah, ELO. I don't know why I said that. I'm dead. 100%. I'm dead immediately. The roof collapsing. I'm done. Like I'm checked out. Goodbye.
Yep. I agree.
So we did this on the day after tomorrow. I think we can very quickly.
We are running out of time, Drew. So let's power through it.
Put the volcano through the villain scale. What do you think? You think we can do it?
Let's do it.
All right. So if you're new to the villain scale, like we talked about, go back and listen to the day after tomorrow. We did it with the superstorm there. There's a couple categories. We got look and style, hideout and lair, plan, and henchman. Very quickly, Badway, you can score this all alone. I'm not even going to debate you.
All
on
right.
these.
It's up
You
to
tell
me.
me the score. We'll take it.
It's up to me.
Look and style of this volcano.
Oh man, so yeah, we got to give it at least a 4. Probably, I guess you got to give it a 5. Like some of those views, man, so good.
There's lakeside accommodations.
Looks great, lakeside accommodations,
and
I mean,
the
surrounding
CG was good.
Yeah, surrounding area, and the lava itself is very beautiful, very very mesmerizing when the lava's flowing. And isn't it oddly beautiful, like the ash falling down? It's almost like snowflakes. It's like
it looks like a painting.
It's oddly beautiful. Yes,
it was. It's like morbidly. Yeah, I agree.
Morbidly beautiful.
This kind of goes into the next category, but hideout and lair.
Sweet as volcano lair. Are you serious? It is its own lair.
So is the magma? Is that how you're scoring it? Like, what do you like? What's hiding out?
The magma hides in the lair.
But it's like the volcano itself is hiding in plain sight.
Is the volcano the villain, or is the magma inside the volcano the villain?
This is a good question. I don't know that we're accurately rating this.
I don't know. So
you make a call.
I think the volcano as a whole. I think the volcano includes the lava.
Well, I think the lava falls under the henchman here. So that's
the lava and the ash is all henchmen. They are henchmen.
What's your hideout and lair?
No, I don't know. That's like saying bison's electricity is a henchman of bison. That's not how it works.
But bison is a living person. Like this is an inanimate object. It's the earth. Like is the earth the villain? Like the whole earth?
Yeah, I guess lava is different from the ash is different from the volcano itself.
The electricity is a utility. Like it's a utility.
I don't know, man. I feel like we could do like a 30-page thesis on this.
What's your score for hideout and lair?
It's a 5. It's a volcano. I don't care how any way you put it. It's 5.
What about the plan?
Plan's a 1. Plain and simple.
Why? Explain it.
It just took so long to execute, Drew. How many years?
Yeah,
How
and they
many
had
years?
Pierce up there doing scientific expeditions and stuff.
And it took one freaking English guy to like go up there and thwart the plan and say, "Hey, this thing's going to erupt." Like it showed its cards too soon.
I'll say this though, it was very effective in that it destroyed the entire town. I mean, there's nothing left.
Yeah, but the body count was relatively low, Drew.
I didn't check moviebodycounts.com, but
there's no way to quantify it, the off-screen deaths. But you know, if it would have rumbled, if it would have rumbled a little less, you know, a little bit early on, then Pierce would have been in and out of that town. Then it could have claimed all the lives.
What do we have? Like 4? Well, not counting the cars crashing, we got like the 2 hitchhiker or people that were like in the hot springs.
Yeah, you
got the cars, whatever that was.
Yep, and then you have the 2 main characters,
the boss and the grandma. Yeah, and that's it. Maybe there's 10 deaths.
So four on-screen deaths, and then the rest are like cars and stuff. Which you know,
maybe they survived.
You can't. No, those people are dumb, man. They were driving straight into the water, Drew. Like they live in a volcano town, Drew. How smart could they be to survive?
But what if they had one of those cars that can drive in the water too? You know, that like turns into a boat.
A boat car.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a 1. What about the henchman? Are you counting the lava as the henchman?
No, that's part of the volcano. The henchman. I would call the ash a henchman.
The ash is a henchman,
which you get a 2.
What about the sulfuric water?
That's a henchman too. You're right, but but you know, it's not super effective because you look at it, and you go, ugh.
It goes through the pipes. It goes through the pipes.
Yeah, but I'm not drinking that. I'm not going in there. Like that water looks boiling to me. No, I'm not going in there.
All right, so you go in 2?
I'll give it a 2.
I won't even debate you on these. I'll recap for the listeners. So it looks like we have 13? 5 for look and style, 5 for hideout and layer, 1 for plan, and 2 for henchman. Do you remember what we gave Day After Tomorrow? I thought it broke the scale.
It was probably higher than that, but yeah,
it was like a 20.
It's pretty low for a natural disaster. It's all about the body count, you know.
Yeah,
it should have claimed more lives, but the plan was it just took too long.
Town under 20,000.
And then when it was ready to execute, it couldn't wait.
Yeah, I mean, town under 20,000.
For as long as the damn thing waited, it could have waited a little bit longer to show its cards, and then it really could have done some damage.
It was aiming low when it had the town under 20,000 population, so you know it should have
small time volcano for sure.
Exactly, big, physically big, but small time town. You know, they should have went for the number 1 town under 20,000. Yeah. That's wherever that was.
Big fish in a small pond mentality for sure.
So let's close it out. What do you think happens after this movie? Do they rebuild the town?
No, it's
do they move back?
Toast.
Even with all that like carbon fertilizer there, they could just build over it?
No, why would you go back?
You don't think that these people that are like obsessed with their town, they're going to be like, hey, we're the number 2 town in America. We got to go back.
we're Dante strong. We got to go back there.
Yeah, they're going to have the wristbands and stuff.
No, I don't. You know what? I don't doubt those idiots. You're probably right. They're probably trying to go back.
They're going to go back. They're going to get that real estate developer. They're going to get the other guy, the guy's rival.
Yeah.
How about this? How about last question for you? Pierce and Linda Hamilton, do they make it?
It works, man. Pierce has total stepdad vibes.
Stepfather of the year?
Stepfather of the year. Yeah, he's taking it. He's taking it. He's going to move him away from that stupid town to a very safe place, and they're going to have a great life.
And does the bad father ever come back in the picture?
Of course he does. He hears about the town. He reaches out. How are the kids? Are they good? Do you want to talk to them? Nah, that's all right.
He rides off in his motorcycle like the guy from Angels in the Outfield.
Linda Hamilton asks him, do you want to talk to the kids? No, that's okay. Just tell him I said hi. He doesn't even say that. He doesn't even say, tell him I said hi.
Did she even know where to contact him? Probably not.
No, he contacts her. He's on a payphone.
He shows up. He's on a payphone. Yeah, exactly. You can't start 69 that or whatever. So that's Dante's Peak.
That's it.
Better or worse than The Day After Tomorrow from a disaster film standpoint?
It's probably a better movie.
It's definitely a better movie.
Yeah, it's a better movie. It's more rewatchable.
I wasn't bored for 1 second, and you know, you had Pierce as the father in the pseudo stepfather figure in this movie. Give me Pierce Brosnan all day. I love this movie. It will always hold a special place in my heart. It's not good, but I like it, and I think you should watch it and put that on the DVD cover.
I agree. Not
Thanks
bad. 6 out of 10. Would watch again.
Yeah, would watch again. Thanks to everybody that listens to the show. If you want to send us an email, let us know. Did you watch this in science class growing up? The Last Row Podcast at gmail.com. Tweet at us at The Last Row Pod. Facebook.com/The Last Row Pod. Instagram, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks to everybody that left a review. We're really enjoying doing the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see you guys on July 22nd. I didn't mess the date up this time.
Good job.
We'll see you guys later. So, how hot does the water need to be to burn your,
69 degrees.
and would do you sully the water by doing what they did in there?
See, I didn't want to make the joke earlier, but I guess it's after dark here, so like, when you get all those chemicals in there, then you add a dash of semen. That's it. That's what makes volcanoes grow. It's like you impregnate a volcano.